Why would an all-loving God put people in hell?
An all-loving God does not send people to hell. People choose to go there. And the way that I describe it, and it comes up in my classes a lot, God is all-loving. So if you truly only want to be selfish and to reject God and to reject your neighbor, God honors that. God will give you what you ask. So if all you care about is yourself, then God will give you yourself for eternity. And I don't know about anyone else, but me being just with me for eternity would be kind of a hell. So
basically, I think what the idea is that we have sort of this choice in our life to make whether we want to be loving or not loving. And so in that sense, I don't think God picks us to go to hell or makes, it's not that, it's based on our actions. It's not based on what God has sort of preordained, but it's based on how do we respond to that call to love.
So I don't think God sends people to hell. God honors the choice people make for hell. This is a teaching in Catholicism. God is passionate about his people, so he makes himself known in so many ways. So even if someone's not Catholic or Christian, it doesn't mean God hasn't had access with them. And again, God honors his people, his children.
We don't know the ins and outs of all of that. Just because someone's not Catholic or not Christian doesn't necessarily mean that they're not in heaven. And it's based on, we trust in the mercy and love of God. And I think all of us have to trust in God's mercy to be able to help us to do the best that we can.
When have you felt the presence of God the most?
I felt the presence of God the most when my mom died. It was unexpected, and I had this enormous question about, is there life after death? And I had been a priest for a while. I'd been a priest for quite a while when my mom died, and yet she was the closest person in my family that I'd ever lost. And I remember driving away from the cemetery wondering if she thought it was a beautiful place, and then realizing I don't know if I'll ever see her again. But I felt close to God, and this is why it's not a sad story, because God is present to all of those moments. And so I believe in God, and so I believe that I will in some way be, and I'm always with my mom in a sense. But it was profound because it didn't take anything away, but I really experienced how God suffers with, and God is present with us in those peak moments of our lives. There are other times that have been much happier, ordination or, some kind of celebration. But I remember so closely thinking, this is how God is present to us, even when God can't take things away and make it all better.
About 10 years ago, I had a surgery, and I was sick for a while from the surgery, and just in the hospital for like 2 months. And I was getting pretty frustrated with that, as you can imagine, like laying in a hospital bed and not being able to eat. And I was just kind of towards the end of my rope, in a sense. It's like, I'm done with this. And I got a visit in the evening one night from one of the daughters of charity, just wanted to stop by and visit, and I just totally broke down and all she did was just hold me and say I'll be okay, and God is here. And I think that was a time that God was reaching out to me to remind me that he was there and that it would be okay.